My name is Christian, better known as the Barefoot Doctor. This is Barefoot Medicine Training, Better Living Through Ancient Healing Secrets. I remember the exact moment, the exact hour when I knew that I was going to recover from my very long, very serious tropical digestive condition. And the topic of today's short video is exactly what happened that made me certain that I was going to recover. At the low point of my illness, I was down to about 147 pounds. Today, I'm about 175 pounds. I lost a ton of weight. I was just sick constantly. My body was just burning itself to a crisp. And I was able to turn all of that around. And while that was happening, I was studying medicine with an old healer, what's called a curandero, in the little pueblo that I was in Central America. So I took good notes because I was paying close attention to what was happening, but I was also having this tremendous learning experience, the kind of thing you cannot get in medical school or any kind of college in North America, for heaven's sake, right? I was living in a dirt poor, very filthy, unsanitary living conditions in a very poor part of Central America. So I want to describe that for you briefly. Now, I got sick starting around 1999. That was when I arrived in Guatemala. And actually, the conditions that led to my digestive illness probably began much earlier, but I didn't really understand that until I had studied the ancient medical system that I learned from my mentor. I realized around 2010 that I was going to recover completely. And I still remember the overwhelming sense of freedom and empowerment and relief and pride also, that I knew that I was going to be okay. And I created this channel because that's what I want for you. If you're struggling with a chronic illness, especially a chronic digestive condition, I know what you're going through. And the advice and the kind of suggestions here are not meant to take the place. If you need a doctor, get to a doctor. If you're seriously ill and something's really dangerously wrong with you, go see the mainstream medical system. That's what they're there for. But if you have to recover from a chronic digestive illness like I did, those people are going to be of very limited value on your healing journey, as most of you probably have already figured out if you're watching this. So today I just want to highlight what my breakthrough really was and is, and what it's not. Okay, first of all, a breakthrough for beating a serious digestive illness is not something your doctor does for you. It has nothing to do with taking medications. You are not going to suddenly go, oh, I'm healed. The doctor gave me a new pill that they forgot to prescribe the last 100 times I've been here, and now I'm definitely going to recover. That's not how modern medicine works. I talk about this elsewhere, so I won't beat that dead horse here, but the modern medical system is an emergency medical system. It's really geared from top to bottom for trauma. You've been shot, you're in a car wreck, right? I mean, it can put the body back together pretty effectively. But that has nothing to do with the internal causes that drive chronic illness, chronic conditions. Modern emergency medical thinking is wrong. It's just limited. It cannot make any kind of impact that's going to give you a breakthrough where you're suddenly clearly convinced, like, no, I am recovering, I am going to recover, I've cracked the code, I understand how to do this now. Pills are actually the opposite of a breakthrough, mostly, because pills typically suppress your body's ability to recover. If you think about what pills do, right, if you're taking, say, an acid blocker for acid reflux, or a pain medication, or a steroid, or whatever, that is to try to dampen down the body's reaction. You are trying to block a signal from the body because it's inconvenient. Now, that speaks volumes about the philosophy, really, of the mainstream modern medical, emergency medical approach, right? It speaks volumes about the way mainstream medicine just conceives of what it's doing. For God's sake, you don't want to block the signal. You want to read that signal and go, what the hell do I have to do to get this thing to stop on its own? Well, the ancient medical system I discovered does that. It teaches you how to understand the signals that your body is giving you at a really deep level, like Sherlock Holmes, kind of like, oh, I can interpret this, and I really grasp what's going on at a level that the whole thing starts to make sense. And then, and this is getting to my breakthrough, you learn how to put your organs back together. You don't want pills to block your body's normal signals and function. You want your organs strong. You want things inside you that are supposed to heal you to work well, not suppressed by an acid blocker, or a steroid, or an antibiotic, or whatever, right? Every breakthrough on the road to recovery from a chronic digestive condition has this moment. And I've taught this to many, many thousands of people across the many years now, over 27 years, I guess, that I've been involved in this topic. A light goes on, and the light that goes on in your mind is this. You make a connection between a specific cause Could be something you ate, could be a thought pattern that you're locked in. Some action that you took, could be a supplement, could be a pill, could be an activity, could be some habit. Very often it is some, as my mentor used to say, often enough you have to heal people from what they've read. People read about fad diets, keto this, and the right Mediterranean that, and all the rest, and they get locked into a way of thinking about it. Like, I have to do this, I have to eat this way, I have to take this supplement because the guy on TV sold it to me, and he says it's the best thing for me. It's like something that you're doing or that you just did, you realize what effect that has had. And when I say you realize, I mean not in a vague way. You know exactly what caused what effect. That's the light bulb. In other words, you made a connection between something that is crucial about your specific condition. You finally grasp or see something in a way, usually it's something you ate, that created an effect, either triggering a symptom or causing your body to improve. Like you figured out, hey, I did this and this happened, and I know that this caused this. I know that this thing that I ate caused this symptom, so I'm not going to do that anymore. Or I took this and I changed the way I was eating and I combined foods this way, which is a very common cause of recovery, and I combined foods this way instead of the way I was doing it before, and I started to notice an improvement, okay? And you realize in a flash, that's it. This thing that I did was causing X or Y or Z or whatever it was, and now I know that these two things are connected. It sounds strange to talk about because it's deeply personal. Most people with chronic illness, especially digestive illness, are doing a lot that's harming themselves. If you're like most people that I've dealt with over 25 plus years and treating patients in clinic and talking and doing thousands and thousands of presentations and talking to doctors and looking at how chronic illness isn't treated well inside hospitals and then how you can figure out how to do this on your own, what you discover over and over again is that the vast majority of people with a chronic illness are doing something that's driving that illness. And then when they figure out like, oh, you mean I need to stop this? Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Wait, I'm getting better now. Or, hey, why don't you try this other thing? I do not see any evidence of people buying, thousands of dollars of expensive supplements and they're like, oh, I bought these supplements and then I was cured. I'm a marketer as well. I know people who sell herbal formulas and remedies and so-called natural remedies, all kinds of nonsensical supplements and all the rest. I know from talking to those companies and dealing with them, I know what their customers actually say after they buy that stuff, and it's not pretty. You could not put those comments out publicly because most of that stuff is crap. Actually, technically, it's probably expensive urine is what it is because you just pass it out of your body in the best case. But in the worst case, a lot of people are made sicker by the fad diet, fad health and wellness, fad supplement, fad everything, biohacking universe of people who may be well-intentioned but just don't have a lot of understanding, of chronic illness. The ancient medical system I discovered is the sine qua non. If you want to know how to really manage to the point of recovery your own chronic condition, especially if it's digestive, and most people with chronic illness have a digestive illness because that's the root. That's how your body either heals or stays sick. It gets into the digestive and metabolic organs, and if you can't fix it there, well, then you're going to be sick for a long damn time. The good news is you probably won't live as long, so you won't suffer quite as badly, but that's not good news. When you make the connection between cause and effect, oh, this is what's causing this symptom. This is what's triggering my reflux, my constipation, my whatever, abdominal pain, my bloating and gas. And then you remove that and you go, oh my God, I'm better now. Or, oh, I've been combining foods this way and I've been taking this beverage or whatever, and you don't do that. And then you try the new thing that causes your recovery and you start to notice like, wait, I did it again and I got better. Wait, I did it again and it's definitely helping. That kind of aha moment between cause and effect, that's what a real recovery looks like. That's what I teach in something that I call my pivot protocol. You can get details on this below. There's a link below the video. You learn how your organs actually interact and how they produce symptoms, how your organs are affecting one another, and how to get them working together again so your symptoms disappear on their own. So when I say to people, your body knows how to heal on its own, this is what I mean. Your body knows how to do almost all the heavy lifting for you. Like 90% of your healing is going to happen by itself. Your job is to discover how your organs influence and affect one another, and then start trying to influence them through cause and effect where the light bulb is going on for you. I can make this journey much shorter than it otherwise has to be, right? It doesn't have to take you years and years like it did for me. I remember in 2010, I was at my property in Guatemala. It's on a beautiful lake. I was way up in the mountain where I live. Stunning views and deep, deep in nature. And I remember I was on the veranda, right, on the third floor of my little cabin. And I had this insight that, no, clearly I'm getting better and I've cracked the code. And that was it. For me, it was years and years of struggle and frustration and illness. And like, I got a little better, but then I backslid and like, I could never put the weight back on and all the rest. And from that moment onward, I not only knew that I was recovering, I knew that I had cracked the code on chronic digestive illness and that my body was going to heal. And for most people, your body has way, way more healing capacity on its own than anybody has ever told you, than you've ever considered before. The problem is nobody has shown you how to control that. And you control it by getting a hold of your organ functions. That's what I teach you inside my coaching program, inside my online material. No other medical system shows you how to do this for regular people like the ancient medical system I discovered with my mentor all those years ago in Central America. There is literally nothing more powerful than this knowledge if you want to manage chronic illness and recover from it and also stay well for the rest of your life. Like once you know this, it's not like you forget it. Like you figure this new way of thinking about health and illness out, and then you understand these causes and effects in a totally new light. The light bulb goes on. You now have control over what's happening inside you. And if problems come up in the future where you've healed yourself, but then down the road you have some kind of flare-up or something goes wrong or your body's just getting older and things go out of balance again, but you know how to bring them back into balance by getting your body, getting your organs to work together so that you heal on your own again. No pill will do this, no supplement, no procedure, right? No biohack, God help us all. None of that helps you anywhere near as much as this simple ancient system for controlling your organs and getting your body to heal on its own. So I put together for you, and you can find the link below this video, a quick one-page sheet, 5 tips to feel better by tomorrow. You can find that link below this video. I've also included a link to a free 60-minute training where I teach you how your organs work, how to understand what the signals mean, the 4 primary imbalances, heat, cold, dampness, and dryness, and how you can categorize anything that's going on inside your body right now can be categorized according to these 4 criteria. And thinking this way about your symptoms will give you that aha moment where you start to connect cause and effect with all the various things that are impacting your health. So check that out. Thanks very much for listening. If you like the channel, please subscribe. It gives me good motivation to continue, but also if you have questions or you have comments or you want me to talk about something specific, put it in the comments. I read them. I'll make sure to address them at a future video. That's enough out of me. Thanks again, and remember, your body knows how to heal on its own.